Welcome to the Everything Goes podcast with TAK, where sports get loud, the takes get hot, and nothing's off limits. From game day breakdowns to way too early predictions, we're bringing the energy every single episode. Buckle up, because over here, everything really does go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Everything Goes podcast, episode 226. We are live here on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And quick shout out to our sponsor that keeps us fueled, 3 Natives. Whether you're grabbing the local, which I love with a little extra Nutella, it's actually my favorite. It feels like dessert from heaven. Or if you're sipping on a smoothie or getting a wrap, man, 3 Natives has you covered. So let's go get it. Support our local 3 Natives at Royal Palm Beach, Florida, down here in Florida, the best place to be, the best state to be. How we doing, guys? We're going to have some of our hot takes going on again this episode. You know, talk about the Bills' chances of a championship closing. We're going to talk about is the Big Ten better this year competitively than the SEC. I forget the other one right now, but we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about MLB around the horn. The Panthers up 2-1, absolute dominated 6-1 victory. And a lot of fights. I love a lot of fights.
A lot of bad penalties. Edmonton
I mean, how about that guy? I don't know if you guys saw him at the end. The Edmonton guy is like literally just punching his stick into Bennett, and it just breaks eventually. And like,
dude,
let's go, man.
Bennett's a bad man too.
Yeah. Bennett's a good guy. I like Bennett. Bennett. What'd you say?
Gonna come down to who wants it more.
Yeah, 2-1. You know, I wish I could go to the games, but it's like $500 to get it. I might go to the watch party though. I know a lot of people go to not the watch party like at a local place, but you can go down to the stadium when they're away for $15 at anywhere in the stadium. Just watching the Jumbotron, and then they'll project like the numbers on the ice, and they'll move, so you can kind of like see. My buddy, one of my high school students was there for game 2, and I was like, dude, $15, sit wherever you want. I love that. Yes, how we doing today? Tuesday. It's getting hot down here. We got our Everything Goes hats, limited edition. 10 were sent out. 10 will only be sent out. And I heard very positive things.
I should be wearing mine, but I got the shirt on.
You got the shirt on, man. That's what matters.
The hats are beautiful. I've gotten a couple friends that like them here, and I'm like, dude, just come on, pay the money. You spent $35-$40 on a hat anyways. What's the difference? So
I mean, the average hat price when you go into lids like $35.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And this is premium quality. Ty, like, only get the best.
Only get the best, baby. Only get the best. How we doing today, though? How we doing? Well, tomorrow's Wednesday already. Well, man, I think it's crazy that every time we get to Friday, I'm like, hey, let's go Friday. And then you get to Monday. And I feel like you blink it and the week's over already. And it's like, that is life. It's like, no matter how much I complain about Monday, Friday's here already.
Yeah. I mean, last Saturday, I took a 5-hour nap. I don't ever nap. I was just so worn out and tired. I just was done. I was toast. I mean, I went like around 12:30, and I woke up like a little bit after 5, and I was just like, God, I needed that.
Yeah, good reset. I was going to ask quick, how fast do hockey players skate? They got to be faster than obviously a football player on
I'd say 20 miles an hour.
Is it? Okay.
That's a guess.
I was just thinking of that.
Should I look it up?
Yeah, that's a guess.
We could quick before we dive in.
How fast do hockey players skate?
I'm going to say 20 miles an hour.
Dude, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Top sprint speed, 24 to 26. Elite players can hit 24 to 26.
Jesus, wow.
You imagine getting hit by that right into the boards?
McDavid's got to be fast, one of the fastest in the league. I mean, you give him an inch, he's gone.
Bro, they put Bob on his butt last night. Someone hit him, and I was shocked there wasn't a bigger fight than what there was.
I just don't understand why Edmonton is Skinner. You know, he gives up a lot of bad goals. And I think the other guy, I don't know what his name is, but I think he's 6-0 in the playoffs. Why are you not making a change?
I'm too embarrassed to tell people I'm cheering for the Panthers, even though my license plate is the Florida Panthers. Man, I picked the lowest seed going in 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, and now this is their 3rd Stanley Cup they've been to in a row. And I literally, the one guy I know, he's a Tampa Bay fan. I'm like, I look like the biggest bandwagon. He goes, oh, for sure. He goes, but let's keep it in Florida. We're good.
Yeah, you moved there. I mean, I'm not switching to Denver anytime soon. The Rockies suck.
Well, on it, like if you didn't, I feel like if you didn't follow hockey a lot growing up, anyways, or whatever the case, you have free reign or whatever sport you didn't follow a lot. You can pick and choose, I think, to land on
Oh
one.
yeah. I most of my teams I didn't even get to pick. You just inherit them from your dad. I have so many people that say, "Where did you even get all these sports teams from?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Go ask my dad. I mean, he was wearing the neon Michigan shorts. He was wearing the Yankees hat. Like, I don't know.
The Saints, though, that's all you, man.
The
I
Saints
can't-
was all me. The Saints was all me.
Flyers, I'm always gonna be a Flyers fan. It's just the Broadway bullies. I love them. The Sixers, no matter how much I hate what's going on in Philly right now, I'm never switching from a Sixers fan.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Never root for the Phillies, and I'll never root for the Eagles. I just never will.
never will.
I don't hate I hate the fans. I just don't hate.
Yeah. We were talking about weekends, man. I got an experience of, I don't think it's because I'm getting old, but like Saturday it was so hot here and I cleaned the pool out. We went in the pool. My wife was in the raft, and I was like, I'm gonna be like a little kid. I literally did 10 cannonballs in a row to get her like all wet and stuff. I was doing cannonballs. I was doing flips in the pool and stuff. I felt great. I had some chlorine go on my nose and stuff. Didn't think of anything. I wake up Sunday, I couldn't move, man. I had such a bad like chlorine sinus infection from doing flips and everything hit me in the face. I was like, this is the worst day. I laid with chills in the bed. It was the worst.
That's just like at work today. We were throwing football in the parking lot. It was 90. It's beautiful. And my mind says go run a route, but my legs
gosh.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'd love to see those little legs run again, man.
Pull a hamstring. Don't do it. But I'm out there and I feel young, but I know at 51, man, I got the potential to do some damage.
Soccer, I noticed that with soccer too, and even trying to play pickup basketball. Those two just constant running. Oh, they're the worst.
So the first topic we're going to get into today is NFL's top 3 uniforms. And before we pick, what are like immediately when you hear the NFL uniforms, like what's some of the favorite uniforms that pop into your mind when we talk about that? Because I immediately think of like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicles or the Philadelphia Eagles, the lime green, whatever you want to call it.
We'll go Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers throwbacks. I'm sorry, Austin, because I know you're watching right now. Those are some of the worst uniforms in the game. That and the Redskins throwbacks back in the day. Those like it was like the maroon with the tan pants. I thought those were so ugly.
I like Houston's. I like their jerseys right now. The Cowboys they changed. I mean, I understand it's history and everything like that, but do a change. Yeah,
I feel like the Cowboys have really no alternative or like do they do a throwback?
Yeah, they have the Thanksgiving one with the stars on the shoulder, but like
the white helmet they used to do.
Like you have good colors, man. You come up with something fancy, but until eyes, they're not touching anything.
It's such like a what do they call that? I should know this because it's construction, but almost like when it's just been something that's been so old and used constantly that you just like you landmark. That's what we say in construction, but you can't even you wouldn't even touch it now. Like you're too nervous to touch it.
Yeah.
What about the power? So Bears tradition, the powdered blue Chargers. I love those. And then, oh God, Broncos. I like the Broncos. Are they the home jerseys? The dark blue and orange or whatever. Those 3 I'd have to say are probably my favorites.
Yeah. Here, I got some. I'll show some comments here. We got Jordy saying the Vikings Winter Warrior all whites. Yes,
Those are dope.
Those are dope. We got Steelers got new throwback coming this season. Listen, man, whatever the Steelers got coming this season, just throw it in the trash. That's what we're gonna say. Yeah. So NFL Fox, they ranked by division, and then they told us like conference wise, NFC and AFC. So in the AFC East, where you have the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots, the Jets, who would you guys pick?
I'd say Bills.
Bills.
I mean, Dolphins, nice ones. And I'm gonna go Dolphins.
I like Dolphins too.
Dolphins have a lot of beautiful throwback jerseys, man, and that's who won that division. They have the Dolphins winning.
Yeah.
So you have the old Patriot. Oh God, the guy like the musketeer looking dude. That's over on the helmet. That's cool, but not the overall uniform.
Yeah. Sure. So we have the AFC North with the Cincinnati Bengals, Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns. I love the Bengals, especially the random white ones they do now too. Like that, I love a good Bengals jersey on like a Sunday night game.
I like the Ravens.
Ravens is historical. I like that one too.
Yeah, I like Bengals too. It was either that or Steelers.
Come on, man, get the Steelers out of this conversation. I would pick the Browns over the Steelers. I think the Browns is a nice, just throwback, never changes.
Matches their season shit.
So they have the Bengals winning that. AFC South, like you said, Dad, you like the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars. Tennessee Titans have some nice throwbacks too.
The Colts
Can't
are
be
like,
sleep.
they're just plain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they copied the Cowboys.
And randomly they'll get the horseshoes sometimes too. But I think I'm taking the Houston Texans. Especially they have the red style this last year too when they rocked with the red helmets.
So I have no idea how I grew up being a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Maybe it was Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor, and what's his name, Jimmy Smith. I think I love the Jaguars. Those uniforms in the like.
See that Trevor Lawrence showed up today for camp in a sling.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard it today.
I will say I always liked the Jaguars uniforms. I didn't mind the whole like half gold helmet at first because it was something new, but I do like the throwbacks too. And now the style they have now, I really like too. But they have the Houston Texans, Dad. There you go, winning that division. So AFC West, you have the Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Denver Broncos. Ace, I know you were a big fan of the Denver Broncos, like you were talking about. The Chargers, I like the Chargers, man. I like the Chargers, and that's who they got. That's who they got winning.
Yeah, I think they could do more though. I mean, if you look at the Rockies and even the Avalanche, they have some amazing combinations for jerseys. I mean, I think the Broncos could really change it up.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna narrow this down to how we can build our best three, right? So we are down to who we taking out of the AFC. You have the Miami Dolphins, the Bengals, the Houston Texans, and the Chargers. Who would you take for the best uniform out of those four?
Chargers. Everyone's going Raiders.
I would go Dolphins. That's who won it. But why don't we have the Dolphins and Chargers at the top of our leaderboard right now?
Okay.
All right. NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys, Washington Commanders, and the New York Giants. I hate to say it, man, but I love a good Eagles uniform, especially the light green they got going on. I think that is so nice.
I like the black version of the uniform.
The all black is nice too. What about you, Ace?
Eagles. I gotta go Eagles too. The other ones, I don't know the variations of the Giants. Honestly, I don't watch them enough, so it's hard to look outside of those blue and white or the blue and gray pants.
I do think the Dallas Cowboys have nice uniforms, but like you said, Dad, like nothing's really changed.
America's team.
We did discuss last episode that they are the most traveled fan base, and they are still America's team. That we rated that accurately rated. They have the Eagles winning that division. NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the Chicago Bears. I feel like the Detroit Lions, didn't they have an ugly throwback uniform too, where it was just the silver helmet, nothing on it?
Yeah, but they do that all white jersey too, but I don't know.
I like the Lions uniforms now, but I got to give it to Minnesota because Minnesota has a lot of different options.
Screw Minnesota. I like Green Bay.
Screw Minnesota.
I gotta say the Vikings too. I said the Bears earlier. I love those, but like, yeah, the all whites, the combos, just the traditional purple and gold too are pretty dope. So I'd be foolish not to pick the Vikings.
Yes, the Giants cut the veto. I think he's gone.
NFC South, the Saints, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Falcons. I have been saying this for the past couple of years. I'm a huge, and it's not even because I am a little biased, but like, I love the gold with the black, especially I was trying to explain this to my wife the other day. You know, I just vent to her, but she doesn't really understand it. I like, because you know how like every year they've been just banning certain helmets, and the newer style helmets with the gold on them, like, and the all black, like I'm a huge fan.
It's between the, I mean, I think this division might have the toughest ones to choose because I love
the throwbacks.
Falcons.
The throwbacks are nice too.
The Falcons, the Bucks, the Saints. I can't think of the Panthers right now. Bucks. I'm just going to say Bucks.
Old 1980s uniform.
The who?
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I would agree. It's the Bucks, the Saints, and the Falcons. They all have really nice throwbacks.
The Saints comes with the bag that you put over the head, you know?
Yeah. Well, they picked the Saints actually in this division to win, so just so you know.
Oh.
I just think they should just update everybody's uniforms.
Well, now they're allowing everyone to wear like the alternate jerseys, like so many games this year, which is pretty cool. I didn't even know there was a rule to that. The NFC West is the Seahawks, 49ers, the Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals. I think like the Seahawks, like, do they have a lot of different alternatives to like what they wear? Oh, well, now they have the silver ones that they wore last year too.
Well, they wear that bright green too, that neon green. They have a lot of different fancy colors. They're like the Oregon Ducks of the NFL.
Yeah. I like this comment right here because we not this one right here. We do have a future Saints fan coming soon, and he will be a Saints fan. He won't be a Dallas fan.
Well, like I said before, Dick's stupid.
I gotta go. I like the Niners.
If you force your child to root for a team that's bad, that's child abuse.
Hey, listen, I posted on.
I'm gonna make calls and have them come check.
I shared on my Instagram story the other day. It was a dad that just had a kid, and he's like 1 week old. He puts him on the couch, and he's showing highlights of like the biggest hits in the NFL. He's like drinking the breast milk. He's like, "Are you watching this? Like, keep your eyes open." That's gonna be me showing like all the things with the Saints over the past couple of years. They picked the Seahawks here, but like, man, I'm a fan of. I feel like the Cardinals don't really change it up. I love the Cardinals uniforms, but also like I like the Rams.
Yeah, that's tough too. All 4 of them really have some solid, like the traditional Niners ones with the gold pants, red top. Yeah. Those are dope. I love those.
I like Seattle's.
Yeah, so they have the Eagles, the Vikings, the Saints, and the Seahawks. So who would you guys pick out of that? Remember, we picked the Miami Dolphins and who was the second one we picked? The Chargers.
That's the only time I'm going to pick them.
Which one?
Seattle.
Vikings.
I'm going to go Eagles.
I got to
go Eagles. So we got the Dolphins and the Chargers, and then we each picked a different team in this one. I got the Eagles. Ace got the Vikings. Dad, you got the Seahawks. Good top 3, though. I mean, you can't go wrong with some of that.
I like Seattle has.
Mm-hmm.
I like the neon. I do. I like how they incorporate that little bit of neon with the green. I like it.
Weird.
I feel like that's a good top 3. Yeah. I like that. All right, cool. There's our top 3. Moving on, we are going to do something new. Every single week, we are going to have hot takes. That's what we love about this show. We have some of the hottest takes on this show, and sometimes they're right. It's actually kind of awkwardly weird how a lot of them turn out, and we're just having a good time. But because we are partnered with 3 natives, we are calling it the blended takes with 3 natives. Hot takes, they're going to be served smoothie style. They're going to be served thick, bold, never watered down, though. I love it. I love it.
Getting off with that sponsor.
Come on, man. We got to show some love. Our first hot take of the day: are the Bills championship window closed? Is it closed? I should say. Is the Bills championship window closed?
Sorry, now this year's their best year. I mean, with one of the easiest schedules in football, this is their best year to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting a little old at receiver. Coleman's 30, but you have the best quarterback and best running back, Josh Allen. He does both.
Cooper. You meant Cooper, right?
No, Cooper's not there anymore. He's still a free agent.
Oh, dang. Wait, so who did they draft a receiver?
Last year, they drafted a receiver.
That's okay.
In the first round.
Well, Chris, Chris, what's the average age? Because you said they are younger. I think.
You look at the roster. I mean, there's a lot of 25s, 24s, 23s. You got a couple 30s, but they're pretty young. But, then they made a mistake of going to get Oza, who's hurt already. You give him $12 million for 1 year, and that guy I don't understand why anyone puts any money on him or Mike Trout. Those guys, you're guaranteed to have them for a full season.
I still would have went and played with my brother in San Francisco, man. I really would have.
Yeah.
He want to play with him. He would have sat on the bench and hand him a towel when he came in.
I think, and I'm seeing a lot of good comments here. Wide receiver room is weak. It will never be closed as long as Allen is there. I agree. I think as long as Josh Allen is there, I think there'll always be a playoff team. I can't tell you if they're going to be the Super Bowl this year because I feel like they have been losing a lot of talent. Von Miller is getting old. Like you said, Bose is injury prone. Wide receiver room, in my opinion, is a little weak. I like James Cooks. I like Cooks as the running back. Josh Allen's got a cannon of an arm. His accuracy's improved. He can still run. Joe Brady's still there as the OC. He could have been a head coach, but he stayed. But I think there'll always be a playoff team.
Buffalo always chokes in the playoffs. Until you beat Patrick Mahomes, your window's closed.
That's his arch enemy right there, man. Can't beat Mahomes.
That's what sucks, though, is because Allen's in his prime. No doubt about it. Lamar, they're all in their prime, but you're going against Mahomes, who's got this massive 10-year plus contract. They can just keep deferring, keeping, as long as they draft well, sign good players, it's going to be. So I don't think the window's closed for the Bills, but it's like they're in such a tough, the AFC. I mean, the Patriots clearly are that much better. Who knows about the Dolphins and the Jets at this point? But I mean,
Look,
Patriots are significantly better.
the window's closing for everybody that has an older quarterback. And look,
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting older every year, so the window is closing. I mean, he takes more hits than most quarterbacks because he runs the ball a lot.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
AFC is loaded with some good quarterbacks, especially some good young quarterbacks.
This is their best year to do it. Honestly, I don't think Buffalo, with a good schedule, tough schedule, is better than Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati has one of the best receiving cores in football.
It's all about healthiness.
Josh Allen on Cincinnati, whole different story. Whole different story.
Yeah, that's not fair. And I was like, so James Cook, Ray Davis, you're right, Ty, or you're right, Chris. Josh Allen's basically their power back.
Yeah. I don't know who they drafted, but like, I mean, I'd agree. Like, I don't think the window is closed. I think with Josh Allen, they will always be a playoff team. But I think, like you said, the AFC is getting strong. There's a lot of young talent and growing, and that window's slowly closing. I mean, they're not necessarily signing these big free agents. They've lost some talent. I don't know. They drafted a good receiver last year. Let's see what happens with him.
The thing is like you said, though, you nailed it. The AFC is the most dominant division. I mean, you look at Cincinnati's there. Who knows what Pittsburgh's going to do with Aaron Rodgers? You always have Patrick Mahomes.
Always have Lamar. You just have some solid teams.
With the help. I mean, 2 years ago, they were a solid team.
Yeah, you can never shoot out Miami, and who knows? I don't know. And like you said, I mean, now look at the Patriots. Who's to say the Patriots aren't going to have a good year? Everyone's talking about it.
Won 10 games last year with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, Denver's another one. It's different. It's different. Yeah, I mean that's our next topic though. Actually, we're transitioning to will the Patriots win the AFC? The Patriots will win the AFC East within the next 2 years under Mike Vrabel.
And yeah, Vrabel's an amazing coach.
Yep.
Young talent there. They're building that team the right way.
I think so, man. I think with Drake May at quarterback, Stephon Diggs having a healthy year and not allowing some outside noise. You got a good coach in there. You're building a good culture in there.
Let him go do his TikToks. Be gone. Let him go.
Yeah.
His days are past him. He's better hanging out with Cardi B and slapping that butt. Just go.
Who's the running? They got the Ohio State running back.
It's not Jukins, right? It's the other one.
Yeah, I thought Henderson. I thought the Bills could have taken advantage of that too. Like James Cook and that dude in the backfield, that would have been dynamite.
Cook's much more happy. Because he's like, I love money. He don't want to be fined.
I think what's quiet with the Patriots too is they have been building an offensive line the past 3 years through the draft and through free agency, and Will Campbell is immediately inserted into that equation, saying he'll die for his quarterback. You have a good young quarterback. The wide receiver room is young. You got a young defense. Like that's a team that I would be looking at. Like that's a team that's going to compete against a Josh Allen.
Look, I'm honestly concerned. Like, why aren't these teams that don't have a good why isn't Pittsburgh on the phone with Green Bay? Green Bay has Watson, Dobbs, Golden. They have like 5 receivers there they're never going to be able to pay. Why isn't someone on the phone picking up one of these young receivers?
Well, they got Roman Wilson coming back. They have no idea what that's going to look like because he missed almost the entire season last year.
I know, but I'm just saying I would be on the phone saying I'll give you a 3rd, 4th round pick for one of these receivers right now.
Yeah. I mean, Amari Cooper's out there too. I mean, I know he's Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. Those are guys you could bring in for veterans to come in with DK Metcalf.
If you're out there and OTAs are going on, you're out there for a reason.
I'm still shocked no one signed Michael Thomas the past 2 years.
Nobody wants a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, but was he the problem when you saw the stuff coming out about Derek Carr?
He goes, Canada. They're always looking for players.
He made a lot of money, man. So he's probably chilling. He probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't care. But yeah, man, I think the Patriots will win the AFC East, man. I really do.
I'm nervous about Pickens. What kind of a player are you gonna get? Like, I mean, everything's smooth right now, but once that ball starts flying, you're not getting enough touches, man. Attitude's been real quick.
I know, man.
Dak though, Dak's a better quarterback than Wilson and Fields, so I feel like he's just got to get in line too. Like, and with CD, just get in line and shut your mouth.
Hey, okay, Ace, okay. Hey, isn't it crazy that Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, Fields goes to the Jets? They play each other this year. Is it week 1 or week 7 or something like that? They play each other. That's gonna be fun to watch.
I think it's
last week. The Jets aren't aren't going to win many games. 2 games maybe.
Hey, we did talk about that last week. We talked
It's
about
first game.
buy or sell. The Jets are going to be above 500. And I said buy. And then we looked at the schedule and immediately said that's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they opened the season. How crazy! Like there's some conspiracies I believe in. This one, not too much. Now there's on-field stuff, maybe a little bit more that I believe in, but they play them first week of the season.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, we will talk about whether the Big Ten will be more competitive this year than the SEC. Our sponsor, 3 Natives, is serving up fresh, healthy food that actually tastes amazing. From acai bowls and smoothies to wraps and juices, they've got everything you need to fuel your day without slowing you down. Whether you're coming from the gym or heading to class or just need a clean energy boost to listen to this podcast, 3 Natives has you covered. Support local, eat fresh, and tell them Everything Goes sent you. That's 3 Natives, 1192 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, Royal Palm Beach, Florida. Dad, will the SEC or will the Big Ten be more competitive in 2025?
I don't know. No, honestly, you don't know. I mean, how many teams are going to be ranked? We don't know. I mean, SEC traditionally has more teams ranked in the top 25. If you look at 10 overall championships, they have more championships than the SEC in the last few years.
No. Like, I'm not talking about take everything out and just going into this season with who's in the Big Ten, who's in the SEC, and based off last year, how are we feeling?
I'm going to say SEC. Michigan
Really?
has the unknowns. Ohio State's going to be good. Oregon's going to be good. USC is like maybe a little bit above 500. Washington. I mean, Penn State's always there, but I'm going SEC.
Yeah, I know. I want a reason to say the Big Ten, but like the top dogs in the SEC just seemed stronger than like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, maybe, and then it kind of Oregon, and then it kind of falls off. Whereas you have Texas, Alabama should be there, Georgia. I'm blanking on some right now. I don't know.
I think Alabama's a little bit of a question mark. I think Georgia's still elite. LSU has Nussmeier, and I think LSU and Ole Miss are solid. I don't think they're dominating. Ole Miss loses. Why can't I think of the guy's name that got drafted by the Giants this year? Dart. I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but here's college football ESPN top 25 preseason poll for 2025. That could be something.
I think they have Oregon as number 1, but that's all. That's fake rankings right now.
I just think the heavy hitters, right? Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. You have Washington and USC, and then you think about the schools that are in there: Nebraska, Maryland.
Hasn't been good in years.
No. I'm just talking about some of these schools that are in there that are the mid-tier compared to the SEC mid-tier.
Let me put it like this. The Big Ten's worst teams couldn't beat the SEC's worst.
Iowa, Wisconsin.
No.
Compared to Auburn and Florida, who have been struggling the past couple of years.
I'll take them.
I will fully say this, right? I'm not sitting here saying, oh, the SEC sucks. No, the SEC has been dominant the past couple of years for the longest time, actually.
Yeah.
But I do believe, my personal opinion, that there is a shift. You've seen coaches leaving the SEC, coaches retiring like Saban. I think Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State have really showed you the past couple of years that they are legit elite teams based off their performance. And I think that there's a little bit of a shift. I think you're seeing some of these Big Ten schools being good.
Hot take.
And I think
the playoffs.
What'd you say?
He makes the playoffs. Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Oh, UNC.
UNC. I just think that there's a lot of SEC teams that are starting to slowly fall. And that they're just not as dominant as they have been the past 10 years.
The problem with those, when you're recruiting kids, a lot of these kids, if they want to go to Florida, they don't want to go to Iowa. They don't want to go to Nebraska. A lot of Nebraska kids are homegrown, corn eating, tractor pulling, big, muscular. I'm trying to be correct here. Farm kids.
Yeah.
The South, man, you get kids from all over the country down in Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to look at television. Who's getting on TV more? The SEC or the Big Ten? The Big Ten's getting on the Big Ten network, but how many SEC you see on ESPN and all those other big platforms? So that's where all these kids are going. And then you have the nil money. These Iowas and Nebraskas don't have the same money as Clemson and Florida State and all those teams down in the South. So especially now since they passed that $2.6 billion lawsuit, where now they can have free range to give out as much money as they want. I mean, I was watching college softball the other day, and they had a girl from Texas Tech she got $1 million.
Jeez.
Yes.
Well, and Ty, you're right, especially with bringing in Oregon and bringing in a lot of the Pac-10 teams. They've gotten stronger.
They've gotten stronger. Here's something I'll use to my defense. This is the 2025 ESPN's projected championship odds, right? In the top 10, there's 4 SEC teams and there's 3 Big Ten teams. And you might say, well, SEC is better. No, what I'm saying is 5 years ago, there would not have been 3 Big Ten teams in there.
Yeah, but 5 years ago, the Pac-10 wasn't with the Big Ten or whatever. So now,
no, but even like when we first merged, like what I'm saying is, and this is my art. I'm not even art. My statement on this is, I believe that there is a movement in the Big Ten, and I think the Big Ten is something you need to watch out for.
My projection for Michigan this year is I don't think they're in the Big Ten champion in their own the championship. I don't think they're a top 3 team in that division.
Michigan's number 15.
Yeah, they have they have a lot of new weapons. Their defense is always going to be strong because that's what they're defensive oriented. But offensively, they are just like watching high school football from the 80s. Let's run the ball 30 times, pass it 5. That's football. It's like they're behind the curve here.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I feel like the offenses in the Big Ten and maybe just philosophy is somewhat archaic. Yes, it is more power football, which is good and all, but SEC has adopted much more of that maybe open style play, but they can still pound the heck out of the ball because they got some big boys on the both sides.
Climate, you get into freaking November and December, even October in some of these states, these teams want to run the ball because because of the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, SEC has always been the place where some of the best pro athletes come from. And they're still dominant. They have all the history to show that. I just think at the end of the day, I think the Big Ten is slowly coming up. And I think that they have a strong push.
I agree with that statement. But the problem with football, college football now, is it's no longer about education. It's about money. So these kids aren't locked for more than a year anymore. They hit that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We will talk about it as the NIL ruin in football.
It is.
We'll have a good conversation about that. Last thing I want to touch on before we end this podcast is around the horn. Excuse me. That's the chlorine coming out. We just want to go over the updated stand-ins because we have our picks for this year's stand-in winners that I need to find and post. But I wanted to talk about how the Detroit Tigers are still in first in the AL Central with 43 wins.
Who picked them? This guy.
You did pick them. Ace, Minnesota, though, 35 wins right there behind them in second place. And you were out on them hard in the beginning. You were like, I'm done with this team. Not anymore. They ruined Correa's career. Look at that. You know what it is, Ace? It's every year. It's a little cold in Minnesota. You just got to get over the cold. Once it starts to get a little warm, they play a little better.
Just remember, I picked the Astros too. 3 games up now in first place.
You did pick the Astros. I think all of us did pick the Yankees, who are still in first place by 3 games at 39 wins.
I picked the Orioles.
Dude, that was a bad pick. That was a terrible pick, actually.
The division last year. I don't know what happened to them.
Hey, look at the Angels, though, still holding on to be within the first place with the Houston Astros. And I think Mike Trout is still playing, by the way. I do not think he's in his street clothes yet.
Hey, the Orioles are 7-3 in their last 10. They picked up 2 games on the Yankees. They're not done yet. They're only 13 out. This is
only 13.
They didn't mail it in yet.
After this podcast, you guys have to go on ESPN and watch the Athletic center fielder rob a home run yesterday. He literally climbed on the wall. It was actually insane against the Angels. It was mind blowing. Man, the Texas Rangers are dropping. New York Mets. I'm a little sad to see that one. 42 wins, doing a little better than the Yankees. They are starting to heat up. Subway Series was absolutely amazing this year. And the Philadelphia Phillies are still playing. I think Harper's coming back soon after getting hit in the arm. And you can't.
Texas has one of the top ERAs in baseball, but they don't produce any runs offensively.
I just saw this, which is sad, and we talked about it about the Pirates organization on here plenty of times. But Paul Skeens, the last 7 starts, has a 1.12 ERA. Paul Skeens in the last 7 starts has 1 win.
Come to the Yankees.
And we talked about how owners should be held accountable for their organization and how much they're pouring into a team. And it's just like, that's just one of those teams.
I'm telling you right now, if the Yankees want to go to the World Series, go get Devers for third base.
He dominates the Yankees every time.
Killer. Go get him. Get rid of DJ LeMahieu, who's getting hot now. He's batting like 256. Trade him. Put Chisholm at second base. There you go, man.
I like Chisholm at third, though. I really do.
Yeah. Goldschmidt, Chisholm at second, Volpe at short, and then you go get fucking Devers, man.
That was a great series against Boston, man. It's a hard fought game every time they play Boston.
Yeah. But I'll go get Devers because they have Bregman, but I think Bregman's hurt.
He's hurt. Yep. And they have a lot of prospects that they called up, so they are getting a little tight there. They honestly, they were talking about that. Look at that. The Chicago Cubs at 40 wins, 40 and 26 in first place. I was the one that picked the Chicago. I think I might have convinced Ace to pick the Cubs too.
Yes. Yep. I think I remember that. I'm just going to go with it for now.
We talked about that division. That's a good division still. The Reds at 34 wins right there, doing a little better than the Pittsburgh Pirates too.
The Cardinals. Nobody, I think, expected the Cardinals to be there either.
Cardinals, yeah. And then one of the toughest divisions that we talked about is the NL West, with the Dodgers still at 40 wins at first place. The Giants, 2 games behind, and the Padres 3 games behind, and then the Diamondbacks are just 4 games behind. And this is why next week I think we will discuss should organizations be held accountable for how they play. Is you look at a Rockies organization who has 12 wins and you say how. I understand this is the MLB level, but 12 wins for your fan base, like that is like you got to suck.
But they're consistent though. They got 6 wins at home, 6 on the road.
That's
terrible, man.
Is it just the roster? Because I feel like the A's, nobody knows any players on the A's.
Yeah, there's nobody there.
Okay.
And they're playing the Giants, I think. So the Giants will be in first place by the end of the week.
Dude, that's so tough to be a Rockies fan. You have to be angry. You know, I mean, you have to be like a Browns fan to be a Rockies fan. Like you have to be die loyal. Like you just have nothing going on.
I think MLB should step in and say, you know what? You're not putting money into this team. We're going to force you to sell it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we'll talk about that next week. That is a good topic to talk about. Because like for fans that are fans of these franchises have seen failure after failure after failure every single year, something's got to change.
And not to mention, you know, you can go down and get a cheap ticket. Like a buddy of mine from work is down there today, $25 to go watch the Giants play. That's not a bad ticket. But the thing is like when the Yankees come in and like the Astros or whatever, they jack the tickets up to $100. You know, it's just not right.
So real quick, what you mentioned Devers. What other moves would you like? Well, Twins need to make a pitching move and they need to make a couple offensive moves. They lost Lopez. I think they need to go out and get depth again, starting pitching. We got Griffin Jacks has been struggling this year, gave up 4 or 5 home runs. He gave up 4 home runs all of last year. So there's a couple, they need help across the board. They played better and they have a good pitching core, but it's like, I look at the Yankees, it's like, do we really think we're going to go into Yankee Stadium? Do we feel like Houston, there's those teams, and then of course you got to face somebody from the West.
I mean, let's be real. Judge's MVP this year already hit a home run today to start the game off.
But the problem with the Yankees, and I'm going to go over this again, over and over again, is when their weakness is runners in scoring position. I think against Boston, they were like 6 for 36 or something like that. Mm-hmm. You can't do that when you get to the playoffs. You got to drive runs in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say runners in scoring positions are our hardest part right now. I would say some of the young guys in the bullpen have been letting us down, that come in to relieve, and they can't get us out of these tight situations. Because like Warren, who is a young pitcher for us, was pitching pretty well. We get some of these guys that leave a guy or two on, and then all of a sudden we pull and put a guy in, and next you know there's 5 runs up on the board. Yeah, but it's like that won't last in the playoffs either. Like that will kill you. I mean, if you come in a tight situation, you need to get the job done.
If you score runs, you don't have to worry too much about the bullpen. You have,
but they're scoring runs. Look at the scores of the game. Like they're 9-5 games, 9-7 games. Like we're putting runs up.
When you go 6 for 36, that means they could have been up 15-6. They could have.
And the Yankees are stealing bases more than they did last year. Cody Bellinger stealing bases, Volpe stealing bases.
But I think when you get in there and the cream rises to the top, you get into the playoffs. You need the score, especially against the Dodgers. I mean, it showed last year in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
They outscored us because they had guys come up and got clutch hits. The Yankees don't do that.
Yeah,
we hit the home run, and that's all we do.
Listen, man, you keep talking. We have some good contact hitters. A lot of our runs aren't just home runs. Judge is dominating with home runs. I will say that.
Giancarlo's coming back, so that means they're going to be making some moves to send people down. Or get rid of him, man.
I mean, my only argument, and then we'll end this podcast, is Giancarlo, when he's healthy, he's one of our best hitters at times.
Yeah, when he's healthy.
But the past 2 years, he's been healthy for a majority of the games.
He's Mike Trout.
I would argue that he's played more than Mike Trout.
That's God.
Because Mike Trout checks out once the team starts tanking.
All-star break.
I think it's just time. It's time to move on Giancarlo. We have a lot of younger players up there. We have Bellinger. We have, Dominguez. We have guys there. It's Yankees are up 2-0 now. We have guys there that deserve to play. Like, why should they be moved out of the way now? We're in first place because Giancarlo's coming back.
Well, why would you not want to add some more power, some more clutch hitting, get these guys to rest? There's some guys you can send down that aren't hitting at all, that aren't hitting well at all.
And we'll bet right now. I guarantee you by the end of the year, the Yankees will lead the league in home runs and strikeouts and have one of the worst runners in scoring position statistics.
Hey, man, I'll bet you on that because they have some really good contact hitters that are driving runs in that aren't just about home runs. I feel like we haven't been one of the most home run teams in the league yet.
Now, Rudy would probably agree with me.
I got people agreeing with me in the comments, but hey, that is all we have for you on this podcast this week. We talked about some of the hot takes here that are blended takes with three natives. We talked about top 3 uniforms in the NFL, MLB around the horn, and don't forget this episode is sponsored by 3 natives. Go get yourself a smoothie that will just make you question life, man. I mean, like 3 natives has you covered, and they have us covered, and we appreciate them. Go check them out. They're down here local, Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. Yeah, we love you guys. This is live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Show some love. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram. We're always posting clips, and we'll see you guys next time on the Everything Goes podcast.